Hello, welcome to the podcast. Okay, we have been talking all things shadow work. So we've learned that shadow work is taking an honest look at our shadows, and our shadows are our unconscious blocks, our triggers that keep repeating in negative cycles in our lives and triggering us, and we keep doing the same things over and over and over again. And so we learn that we can take charge of our emotions. Our emotions don't need to take charge of us. And I've given all the brain hacks that have worked the best for me. We've gone through all of that. So now in this podcast, we're going to talk about astrology and how can astrology help with shadow work. So now it's getting into the juicy parts because I am obsessed with astrology. I am an astrologer. I do professional readings. And it wasn't until I sincerely started diving deep into my own birth chart that I started to learn where my shadows were, getting real honest with myself. And I'm happy to help do the same. So I've written a book about it. In these podcasts, we are doing a masterclass on shadow work. Absolutely. This is the book on how to do the masterclass on shadow work and astrology, how to combine them. And so I'm happy to offer it in the podcast form as well as in the book. And I'm giving you a really deep dive look inside this book as well. So now this is part 2 of the book. Now that we're looking at astrology and the poetry of the planets, I open up by talking about how much astrology is such a powerful, holistic tool to get to know thyself. And isn't that the goal of life? Is to know thyself. And if you know thyself, truly you can live in peace. And so I'm a hardcore Aries. I got lots of Aries energy in the 6th house. So yes, self-awareness has been a calling for a long, long time. I'm happy to share what I have learned with you. First of all, I just want to share this really powerful quote by Mark Twain. And I provide these inspirational quotes throughout the book. I make it very bite-sized with the information. I make it pretty so that it's easily digestible so that you can, it's deep work. Shadow work is deep work. So sometimes it's nice to have it looking pretty and easy because this isn't easy. So here's the Mark Twain quote. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And isn't that all astrology? So I get right into it. And there is some reading to do. Okay. There is some reading to do in the book. Why use astrology? And I point out how astrology is a powerful tool for self-awareness. And then I talk about how to do astrology and shadow work. And within this, you can read it, but within this, I talk about the power of polarities. Okay. With every sign, with every zodiac sign, for instance, I'm an Aries Sun. There is a higher vibration Aries and there is a shadow side Aries. And we're going to get into that, okay? Just going to read from the book right now. When you embrace the power of polarities, you understand there is a positive to every negative. For example, you cannot know how to shine your light at its fullest potential until you've experienced the darkness of your shadows. That is shadow work, isn't it? So the same can be said about your masculine and your feminine energy, your yin and your yang energy. Not referring to gender, these energies are all about how you receive and intuit and how you act and manifest in this lifetime. And then I end, there's a lot more written here, but I end with this quote by Deepak Chopra. The most dangerous thing to lose is balance. The ability to accept the opposites within us without judgment. So this is where we can dive even deeper into looking at our shadows. Again, not blaming anyone. We don't blame the person that triggered us, and we don't blame ourselves. First and foremost, please. Okay. Here's another quote by Eckhart Tolle. Strength lies in softness, and real power is in understanding. Okay, so I'm teaching you now how to look at your masculine and your feminine energy. And we get into this in the book, and they're going to be podcasts on masculine and feminine energy. This is non-gender specific, and every person, whether you're male or female or whatever gender you identify with, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, okay? So if we go into our sun sign, we can learn about our masculine. If we look into our moon sign, we can learn about our feminine. And again, it's the power of polarities, the negative and the positive, the yin and the yang, okay? And this is the key to unlocking our shadows when we look at our sun sign and when we look at our moon sign. So I'll stop there now. If you don't know, mostly everybody knows their sun sign. It's even the cheesiest pickup line of them all. What's your zodiac sign, baby? So everyone knows their sun sign, but not everybody knows their moon sign. And I do offer this in the book that if you don't know your moon sign, all you have to do is go to an online resource like astro.com and you plug in your birth details. If you don't know the exact time of your birth, do everything in your power to find out what time of day it was, because the moon sign does change throughout the day. The sun sign on that day usually won't change unless you're on a cusp. So do everything in your power to find out the time of your birth is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then you'll know your moon sign and your sun sign for that matter. Okay, so again, the sun in astrology represents your masculine energy, while your moon sign indicates your feminine energy. So I ask you to take out your pen and write here. My sun sign is Aries for me. My moon sign is Libra for me. So just write that in there, find out what the signs are. Now we can dig deep. Okay. So here's more reading, and then you'll see I put a pretty aesthetic here. So again, this is deep work, but I'm also teaching and coaching with the cosmos to help you look into your shadows even deeper. Okay, so we live in a world of polarities, right and wrong, good and evil. High vibe version is seen as right or good, while the low vibe is viewed as wrong or evil. But the same can be said about our shadows and our triggers. How does the trigger know that it's low vibing? How does the shadow lead to the light? So this is where astrology can be very helpful. Astrology shows us that there's two sides to every sign, okay, in the zodiac. So from Aries all the way to Pisces, there's a high vibe version of Aries, and there is a shadow side version of Aries, okay? So understanding these shadows is another way of digging deeper into our shadow work. So I offer here, find your signs, learn what your sun sign is and what your moon sign is. And then I go through each sign. Look how I've offered this up all the way through to Pisces. Okay, from Aries all the way through to Pisces, I offer keywords on high vibe and shadow vibe of your sun sign and your moon sign. So you're going to take into consideration, what is your sun sign? Look at the page. So I'm Aries. I'm going to look at the Aries page for my sun. That's my divine masculine energy. And then I can go through it for you to give some examples of my own personal life. And then my moon sign is Libra. And so there's a high vibe version and a shadow vibe version of Libra. So I'm going to tell you how this does and doesn't resonate for me. And then at the very top, I also share what an Aries goals are. So Aries goals, I need to be independent and develop my self-awareness. Yes, I am obsessed with self-awareness. Hello, I wrote the book on self-awareness. Okay, I've been like this forever. This is a high vibe version of me being an Aries, and I have a lot of Aries in my chart. I have a stellium in Aries, and it's in the 6th house. So I am here to serve. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo. My midheaven is in Virgo. So I have a lot of Virgo there too, right? I am here to serve. I am here to share. I'm here to high vibe, share my stories, okay? So some of the key high vibe words here that I can definitely relate to. This is me high vibing as an Aries, okay? Leadership, yes. Actually, my mom tells the story of my kindergarten teacher writing on my report card. She came in first day, boom, 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 organized the class. She's a leader. She got everyone organized, sitting in rows, all this jazz. It comes to me honestly. Not everyone is born a leader. I was born a leader with a lot of Aries energy. So that's me high vibing as an Aries, right? What's another one? Warrior spirit. Yes, yes, yes. I have risen many times, I can fight the good fight. I can keep going. Aries Sun people. So the sun is ruled by Leo. So that's the best placement for the sun because you have so much brightness. The second favorite place for the sun to be is in Aries. So I always say, like, this is astrology talk, right? So if the planet is ruled by the sign, and it's in that sign. So all you Leos out there born end of July and into August, you have the brightest sun energy. You're the ones that can just get out of bed every single day and shine your light so bright because you are all heart. So if you are a Leo and listening to this, are you living like that? If not, you need to look at your shadow, because the shadow side of Leo, because you have so much shine as a Leo. But Aries is the second favorite place for the sun to be. We shine pretty bright too, okay? We shine pretty bright too. All the sun signs do, but it's the second favorite place. And I always say it's like, that's home. Leo is the home for the sun, but the second home is like the cabin, right? So it's almost like better to be at the cabin in many ways. It's more fun, kind of. You can relax a little bit. You get really excited to go to the cabin. But really, when you go home, it's like, oh, the beds are better. This is home, so the sun definitely belongs in Leo. But anyways, I digress. So there's many, many words here to describe a high vibing Aries. So look if your sun here or if your moon is here. This is you high vibing in your sun or in your moon energy. Shadow side Aries, I can relate to all of them. Okay. I've been there, done that with a lot of these, like naive, childish and immature, careless, unfinished projects, and forceful and aggressive and too direct and self-centered and impatient and da, 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 da. Yes, 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 yes. So have I been vibing high in my Aries energy? Yes. Have I ever had shadow vibe of my Aries energy? Yes, I have. And I have a lot of Aries in my birth chart. That's another thing is, say your sun is in any of these signs, right? Yes. Okay. But if you don't have lots and lots of other planets there, then maybe you don't really resonate with your sun sign. Maybe you resonate with your moon sign a little bit more. But I am a hardcore Aries, and so I can resonate with both the high and the shadow. Over to Libra, that's my moon sign. The Libra goals, I need to cooperate with others, create beauty, and have balance and harmony. So that's my moon sign. Your moon sign is your emotions. Yes, we're going to go deeper into what does a sun sign mean and what does a moon sign mean. But since I already know these things, I'm sharing with you. As a Libra moon person, your moon is your happiness. It's your emotions, right? It's your emotional intelligence. And yes, I need balance. I need to be emotionally balanced or I'm off. And that's probably when I got mostly into my shadow side of my Aries, because your emotional energy, if your emotional energy is off, so can your sun sign, your masculine energy, right? So high vibing Libras are harmony and balance. Yeah, accommodating and kind, just and fair, sociable. Yeah. All these things. Yeah, I've felt these things very often throughout my life. Indeed, that's high vibing Libra. Shadow vibing Libra moon person. Let's see how many of these I relate to. Indecisive, codependent, people pleasing. All of them, like all of them. Passive, inactive, fence straddler. Oh, yes. Imbalanced. Oh, yes, 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 yes. When my emotions are off, I am shadow vibing in my Libra moon. So I invite all of you to get the book so you can. I've spent a lot of time researching these things. It's taken me years to write these up because I've used these as my cheat sheets. I've done courses for astrology before. with my coaching, my one-on-one coaching. I always integrate astrology into my coaching. And so I've written these things down over the years. These have been my cheat sheets that I'm sharing with you in this book. So yes, the key is to find out what your sun sign is. Everyone knows it. Find out what your moon sign is. Not everyone knows it, but find out what it is. And then I offer you journal prompts. So you've found out, you've read, you've been honest with yourself, okay? And then here's like some of the journal prompts that I offer you. Reading the description of your sun sign, what are the top 5 high vibe words that stand out for you? How do you resonate with these top 5? So interesting just to look over. It's like, yeah, but find out what are the top 5 for you. And then here's another journal prompt right after that. Reading the description of your sun sign, what are the top 5 shadow vibe words that stand out for you? How do you resonate with these top 5? So I go over that for you for the sun sign and the moon sign, okay? Those are the journal prompts that I help you go through. And then I give some offerings at the end, and then again, another energetic closing ritual. Because whenever you're doing this deep healing work, you need to close down your energetic centers. Otherwise, you're going out to the grocery store, you're getting in your car, you're talking with your spouse, you're dealing with your kids, and your boundaries might be leaky, your energy might be leaky, you might be off. So it's always important to honor your emotions, honor your energy, and close it down. And if you'd like me to finish this podcast, I'll share with you this energetic closing ritual, which was channeled in a session with a client. And it says, my heart is open. I embrace the wisdom to flow in from my higher self. My higher self guides me to keep my heart open. I am aware of what love feels like and what lower vibration feels like. I will create boundaries if needed to teach people how I want to be treated. And I intend to have high frequency energetic cords with the people and the circumstances in my life. And so it is. So this is, as a Libra Moon person, I have been extremely people pleasing and codependent. Those are like definitely top 2 on the top 5 of my shadow vibey Libra Moon person identifications. People pleasing and codependency are the top 2 for sure. And so for me to do a closing ritual is so important because I can just go out there and be a bleeding heart as an empath, right? And just like let people walk all over me. And I've done that in the past. It's gotten me nowhere. I've been terrible with my boundaries. That's gotten me absolutely nowhere. So you learn. After years, you learn, right? And again, it's back to what I was saying. When we do the shadow work and we get honest with our triggers and what's been on repeat, the negative things that have been on repeat, when you get honest about it and you can have power over them as opposed to them having power over you. You're no longer that fragile piece of glass tiptoeing around and then just breaking through the glass at the first trigger that comes along. No, you become like the crystal. So I'm not trying to say you become hardened, but I'm saying that over time you grow stronger and it becomes something beautiful. You can learn how to transmute those triggers into something absolutely beautiful, which is hopefully what you're seeing on this podcast, as well as in this book, because I'm here to share what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, and not at all trauma dumping, not at all sharing a victim story. I'm not into victim stories at all. And I'm really trying hard to get everybody out of the victim story because they're not serving us anymore. And so, yes, it's important to share our stories to learn and to grow, but there needs to be a time to change the narrative, to rewrite the script like Dolores taught us. So I hope you enjoyed this. And there are many more journal prompts. I just wanted to say about how to dig deep into your moon, how to dig deep into your sun. And I'm always offering that you go back to the high vibe and shadow vibe. And so in the next podcast, we're going to dig deeper into what the sun sign represents and what the moon sign represents and how this can really help us get to that next level of our shadow work. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.